Well, hello there, you faithful few, and welcome back to DMS Adventures, where today I don't have much time for a rhyme. Because today is part 3 of the review of the Magellan Outdoors Pro Swiftrise Hub 8-person tent. There it is. Today, I'm just going to show you some of the important relevant dimensions of the tent, and then we're going to take it down. Also, we had a significant rain event 2 nights ago, and so I'm going to show you how the tent did. So, got our tape measure. Most of our dimensions we'll take in the open room over there. However, I wanted to show you one thing in this room. We've got our disco bed bunkable cots up in this room, and this is primarily what we'll sleep on, so I had to make sure that it fit. This cot is 82 inches long. It's 40 inches wide at its widest point, and it's about 42, 43 inches tall. And as you can see, it fits in here. It does split the room kind of in half. Still do have access to the one side door over here, and we can end up putting gear and such like that over on that side. Now, the reason we can't push it all the way up against the wall is because the corners of the hub tent actually cut across at kind of a 45-degree angle. So even though the footprint itself is rectangular, as you go up, it's not quite rectangular. So at its peak, with the gear loft in place, you have 73 inches of height. Being at around 6 foot, you still have, a couple feet that you can walk around this. There, my head's hitting the back. It's got a fair amount of room that you can stand full height at. So my wide angle isn't quite wide enough to see both hubs, but you can take my word for it, from hub to hub, you've got about 105 inches, so about 8'9", and that's in the short direction. Then down on the floor itself, you've got about 94 inches in this direction, so 7'10". It looks like you have a little bit more, but the bathtub floor starts coming up on the ends, and you really can't get much more than that 94 inches. Even the 82 inches of the cot was kind of pulling down on the walls just a little bit. So now in the long direction of the tent, but just the halfway point, you're really only going to get about 80 inches. Because again, you're running up to the bathtub floor on the side there, and it starts just pulling down on the wall. Then actually going from the hub to the wall, you're looking at about 88 inches. The height of the doorway here is right at about 57 inches. And its width at the widest point is about 30 inches. So that's about it for the dimensions on the inside. If I didn't get something that you're interested in, just leave a note in the comments down below and I'll get that dimension for you. So now let's take a look at just a couple dimensions on the outside of the tent. So on the outside, from corner to corner, you're looking at 94 inches. From hub to hub on the outside, you're looking at about 110 inches. And then something else that you have to consider, especially with a tent, is how much room will it take up if you need to guy it out. So with the guy lines out, the width on this thing is about 24 feet. Our overall length here is about 164 inches, which is 13'8". Then with the guy out lines, you're looking at about another 6 feet on each side for a total of 25'8". So now I'm just going to wrap up these guy lines, as I don't consider that part of the initial setup, but this is going to take some time, so I'll go ahead and bring you back when I'm done. We got some bonus content here because overnight we had wind, storm, rain, lightning, I think even some hail, and I left the tent up just to be able to get a good idea if we got caught in something like that, how it would perform. So let's take a look. You can see I did go around and guide out every guy out point just to be safe. So let's see how it did. Got water on the window here, and it's still blowing. Looks like a soak through right here. And see, there's not a lot of space between here and the mesh. So you can see the wind is picking the rain fly up. So the wind's blowing just right. You could easily get some rain blowing in there too. So yeah, they really need some stakeout points for these welcome mats here. So just opening up the door, and what do we have? A puddle. Fantastic. Okay, so running along up here, we got a nice puddle down here. Got water all the way along the edge. Puddle right here. Nice big puddle there. Water all along this tape seam. Look at the hub location. There's water that is hanging on there. The window has water on the inside. Water here. I mean, this thing is just a lake. And about half a finger deep. So far, all four corners, water in them. So let's head into the other room. Here's where the cot leg is. Nice puddle there. So if we were sleeping up here, there's no water on the cot, so it's not necessarily coming in from the top. But got water up here too. Water in that corner a little bit. And water down in that corner. So you got 6 corners. Got water, and I'm feeling water on my knee right now. So this weather event happened overnight, and actually Rugged Mountain Mama came home from work right in the middle of it, and she said it was pouring down rain. So don't often get stuck in this kind of storm in your tent, but if you do, I don't know if that's too much water or not. It seemed like kind of a lot, but it was also a really bad storm. I've said that like 5 times now. Of course, I am disappointed a little bit. I kind of hoped it would have done better, but it is what it is. Even if I were to go to seam seal, I wouldn't know where to concentrate our efforts on that, because there are a lot of seams. My thought is that it got that amount of water in it primarily because the rain fly just does not cover enough of the tent. That 1200 hydrostatic head is just not enough for that driving rain. And I think probably the Gazelle tent, with that whole side being covered with those wings and it sticking out in the corners, probably would have done a much better job in keeping the rain out. So we found out for ye faithful few, so you didn't have to. If the Magellan Outdoors Swiftrise hub tent gets in a really bad rain, you're gonna have water. All right, you faithful few, it's time for the takedown. It is sweltering out here. I'm so glad this is a review day and not a backpacking endeavor day. I literally have an umbrella over the phone because it was overheating and shutting down. Here, let me show you. Yeah, that's how hot it is. So first up, we will start with taking off the rain fly. All right, next up, we'll pull down the inner, we're gonna pull down the top. There's one. There's two. And take the stakes out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I'll push in the hub holes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, ye faithful few, as I edit this video and watch myself struggle to put away this beast, I feel the need to do a voiceover and just let you know that I found the kind of trick or tip to getting this put away quickly. So the hubs that are in the center top that you pull down first when you're putting the tent down, those actually end up becoming the bottom when you fold all the other legs up. So once you've done that, you need to get those two hubs close together in order to get it all folded back up. You can see I discover that right about here. There we go, I think. So we're going to take the hub ends, stick them in down here at the bottom first, and see if the stuffing technique works. Oh, you know what? So I got these handy tie thingies. Sorry if I'm breathing heavy into the lavalier mic. Not only is it super duper hot, as I mentioned, I'm old, out of shape. Make sure we get our stakes. And last but not least, the rain fly. You want to catch that rain fly in there. And get these guys on there to cinch it down good. And 2. There it is. Whew. So I will throw a time lapse in right here, just showing you how much time I shaved off with this little trick. It ended up being about 2 minutes saved. All right, you faithful few, thank you for sticking with me through this 3-part adventure review of the Magellan Outdoors Pro Swiftrise Hub 8-person tent. It's got a lot going for it, has some things going against it. So is it the perfect, best family camping tent? I'm afraid that the quest for that is still going on. It is certainly a quest for the ages. If anybody has any personal experience with the Gazelle T8 and how it does in a super bad storm, please leave a comment below. Help everybody out that watches, including myself, to know whether or not it's worth the extra tent, essentially. Thank you all for watching, as always, and you all have a great day.